I saw this for the first time last week. It's called the Atenna Hook from Gamakatsu. The striking feature, of course, are the two weed guards in the front. You can bend them to protect the exposed hook, and they're huge. The idea is extreme hook point protection and increased sensitivity. The hook also has this loop here on the bottom that's actually a really great lure keeper. Now, there isn't a lot out there on this hook yet, so I'm learning about this and may or may not be doing things right, so bear with me as we figure this out. Now, naturally, I wanted to see how weedless or snagless this hook is, so I rigged it two different ways. One with a small worm weight, and the second one was with a Jika weight. There is a video out there from iCast that talks about using this loop as a place to clip the weight, but I found when the plastic is on, the loop doesn't really stick out enough to put a weight on it. So I ran across this video and took a screenshot for you. You can see this angler used a small worm weight, slipped the weight on, and then had a stop of some sort to hold it in place. Well, I did something similar to this. Well, let's start with some underwater footage so you can see what is going on. Of course, the benefit of an exposed hook is the much better hookup ratio. As we can see here, the lure rides like we hope it would most of the time. And I did notice once in a while, though, when you cast the lure out and it sinks, the line sometimes may get around the weed guard, causing it not to sit right at first, but that didn't happen very often. Next, I decided to try dragging this hook through some wood. I was impressed, both with the light worm weight version and the Jika rig weight attached. The only time the lure snagged on me was on the initial drop when it dropped into the brush. Once it was in the brush or on the bottom, it came through pretty well. Now, obviously, I would still have more confidence in a protected hook and something like a Texas rig or even a flipping jig with a heavy weed guard, but this did much better than I expected. Now, also keep in mind, this was only a test and not 8 hours of fishing it all day long. Next, I moved to an area that had some rocks as well as some chara grass nearby. I expected the antenna hook to work through the rocks really well, and it did. No problems at all. When it reached the chara grass at the bottom edge of the rocks, it came through clean about 50% of the time. But honestly, when it did snag some grass, it caught on the weight as much as it did the weed guard. And here it is in some really thick stuff. I figured this test wouldn't be all that fair, but I wanted to see it. Anyway, not going to lie, the big weed guards pushed the thick vegetation away better than I thought. Now, this wouldn't be my first choice of a hook in here, but we had to give it a go. Now, it does feel weird trying to tie a knot with these long guards coming off the front of the hook, and I'm interested to see what comes out with this product and how it does over time. If you already have some experience with it and this type of hook, please share it below. Like I said, this is the first I've seen it and my first attempt at figuring it out. And hey, if you would like to watch a video that goes over the reverse wacky rig and what that lure really does under the water, go ahead and check this one out right here. And make sure that you go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.